What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back, ready to talk about the Atlanta Hawks in their 2024 to 2025 NBA season. Because it did not end as I would have imagined most Hawks fans would have wanted it to end. Despite being the 8th seed, they did not qualify for the playoffs via the play-in tournament. They lost both games that they were eligible to play in, the first being against the Orlando Magic, and then the second of which being against the Miami Heat, who were the 10 seed, and they lost to the Heat at home in Atlanta. So not the best exit. Trae Young showed a lot of frustration, especially in the game against the Magic. And this team just looks like it's kind of like hitting a wall, right? Despite getting the number 1 pick last season, they didn't really show much improvement. And it's funny because normally when a team gets the number 1 pick, you're like, oh, okay, they were like a really bad team. The Hawks weren't that bad. They just they got lucky, right? They were the 10th team back in the lottery. They had the 10th best odds to get the number 1 pick. I think it was like a 3% chance. And they won it, right? And they picked Zaccharie Risacher. And Risacher has, shown to be a decent player. I'm, excited to see what he's able to do next season, especially coming back after a rookie season. He had a lot of games where he kind of showed, traits of a volume shooter. He didn't play extremely well in the play-in. He just sometimes he takes a lot of shots and doesn't make like any of them. But sometimes he has games where he puts up 30 plus, right? So he had a very up and down rookie season, I would say. I think he fits, right? I think he can be a really good defender. He's a very tall dude for playing the wing. He's like 6'9" or 6'10". And he's, able to play like a guard. So he's got a lot of potential. I think a lot of guys were hating on him originally, but he's going to be a good player. Personally, I still think Alex Sarr is going to be better. That's just me, though. Me being the biased Wizards fan, But let's talk about this team. So finished as the 8th seed in the East, 40-42. Obviously got bounced out of the play-in tournament. Did not qualify for the playoffs. Looking at the draft this season, their pick is going to the Spurs. And they're probably going to get Sacramento's pick. So right now on Tankathon, their pick is projected to be the 14th pick, which would go to the Spurs. And then Sacramento is the pick ahead of them at 13, and that pick is projected to go to Atlanta. So they are going to get a lottery pick. They're actually going to get a pick that's better than their original pick, so that's good. If Sacramento does, by some crazy chance, jump into the top 12, the pick will not go to Atlanta, so that could be kind of tough. And Atlanta also owns the Lakers pick in the first round. So the Lakers pick is projected to be the 22nd overall pick. So they have some, pretty good possibilities here, picking 13th and 22 in the draft, potentially. So they have a chance to improve their team through, a 2025 draft class that is pretty good, at least being touted to be pretty good, better than last year's class based on what all of the experts and analysts are saying. And I do believe that. But I think it's a question of what does this team look like going into free agency as well, right? So Trae Young is under contract for next season. He has a player option in the 26-27 season for $48 million. Not sure if he's going to take that. He's obviously one of, the top premier players in the league. A lot of people would not give him that credit, but I think you have to give him his flowers at this point. Just led the league in assists. Also was a 20-plus point per game scorer. So this guy is a weapon, right? And he's not like what everyone I think that was really hyping him up in college. He's not that yet. Like everyone was like, oh, this dude's the next Steph Curry. He's going to be able to pull up from half court and drain shots. Like he can do that sometimes, but he's not as consistent as Steph Curry. And he gets off of his game a lot more. He gets a little bit more emotional, gets a lot more text because he just, he's got to figure out how to get better, be more calm, and really lay it up, right? And he's had moments like that in his career. I just think he needs to get back to that. But Clint Capella, second highest check on the team, is going to be a free agent this offseason. His last year of his deal was this year, getting paid $22.2 million. Karis LeVert also going to be a free agent. He came over in that trade where they traded DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs. They got Karis LeVert and Georges Niang in return. Onyeka Okongwu, he's under contract until the summer of 28. His extension kicked in this year. Zaccharie Risacher, obviously on his rookie deal, he's going to be under contract at least until the 27-28 season. Terrence Mann under contract until the 27-28 season. I am astonished that they were able to get Terrence Mann, honestly. Obviously, Bogdan Bogdanovic is a guy that they traded away this season. I didn't know how much value he was going to yield. He wasn't having the best season. But to get back Terrence Mann, who was just a grinder. Like, the dude, it just plays his absolute heart out. Big fan of Terrence Mann. I think that was a big piece to get in return for Atlanta. Larry Nance Jr. going to be a free agent this offseason. Georges Niang under contract for next season at $8.2 million. Dyson Daniels still on a rookie deal. Will be a restricted free agent in the summer of 26. Jalen Johnson signed a big extension, so he's under contract, through 2030. And Jalen Johnson got hurt this season, right? He was really looking like an all-star. Like, he was looking like the next version of Blake Griffin, honestly. Like, I was shocked at how good he was. So maybe him coming back will be all that Atlanta needs next season. He's only 23 years old. He's got a lot of potential. Garrison Matthews is going to be a free agent this offseason as well. And then Mo Gay, he's under contract. I believe next year's not guaranteed, but he was a good piece to the Hawks as well this season. And Vit Krejci, he's under contract as well. Played a couple of minutes for the Hawks this season as well when they needed him. So I like the crew that they have here. It's just about, I think, obviously, I wouldn't even try to re-sign Clint Capella. I would let him walk. Obviously, you couldn't trade him. I'd probably let Karis LeVert walk. And then I would pick up 2 new guys in the draft. You're going to have the 13th overall pick. And you're also going to have the 22nd overall pick, most likely, right? So if you can pick up some new guys in the draft, keep this team young. Obviously, Clint Capella and Karis LeVert, they're both 30 years old. So getting guys in the draft, you're going to keep this team a little bit younger. Trae Young's only 26. So you can really kind of continue to build around him. It's not like he's like hit his prime. So I think that's what you do. You wait for Jalen Johnson to come back. You have good vets like Terrence Mann. You have Georges Niang sticking around for another season. Dyson Daniels is nominated for 2 awards this season. He's in the top 3 for most improved player as well as defensive player of the year. That guy is an absolute animal. They call him the Great Barrier Thief, which is great nickname. One of the best nicknames I've heard in a while in the NBA. So I think this team has potential. I really do. I think this team has potential. They've just been mediocre for a couple of years now. And I think this season it was more attributable to the Jalen Johnson injury. I think it's attributable to Zaccharie Risacher just being fresh into the league. He still put up a decent performance, in his rookie season, but I think he's got a lot more growing to do. And I think Trae Young didn't necessarily play as a scorer as well as he could have, right? He was shooting pretty low percentages to start out the season, didn't have the best start to the season. And I think it kind of carried. So I think if he can come back next year, really come out the gate strong, build on what he did this year, and everyone else can improve a little bit, they're going to be a solid team. They're definitely going to be a top 6 team in the East if they can do that. So in the draft, I mean, they're going to probably lose Clint Capella, like I said. Maybe they could get Derek Queen if he slides that far. I think that would be a great pickup for them. I think potentially also maybe even considering trading up to like the 6th, 7th, or 8th pick, which will be tough, by trading maybe the 13th overall pick and the 22nd overall pick and picking a guy like Kaman Maluak out of Duke. I think that would also be an incredible decision. Like, obviously, Atlanta doesn't have a ton of size, at least in the front court, right? Like, in the back court, obviously, Trae Young's not that big either. But, like, they have wings now, like Zaccharie Risacher and Terrence Mann, that are big dudes. Dyson Daniels is a big guard. So getting a guy like Kaman Maluak, who's 7'2" and can just guard the paint like no other, I think that would be a really good pick for them. And, that's a decision I think they should consider. Like, do we trade our 13th overall pick and the 22nd overall pick to get, a pick from the Raptors or the Nets that's in the, the 6, 7, 8 range, right? That might be a decision they want to make. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. I like their coach as well. I think people give Quin Snyder a lot of flack, but I don't think he's doing a bad job of coaching. I think if this continues next season, he's probably going to be gone. That's probably just what's going to happen because coaches are the first to go when a team is not performing. But, they've held on to him for, this whole season, right? Nothing's happened yet. So maybe they'll get rid of him this offseason. Who knows? The patience is very thin in the NBA right now. So who knows? But I'm a fan of Quin Snyder's. I think he's a good coach. We'll just have to see what happens. But if you're a Hawks fan, let me know what you think about this team. What do you think they need to do in the offseason to improve here? And let me know what you think they're going to be doing next season. Do you think they're going to be a playoff team? Do you think they're going to be back in the mediocre range? Do you think they're going to just not be good at all and fall to the bottom of the standings? I want to know your thoughts. So please leave some comments down below and let's link, let's build, let's talk, let's do all that. You feel me? And I'm going to catch you guys later, man. Stay safe, stay humble, stay up, stay blessed, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.